When I tell you that when I was your age, politics were never discussed in churches. When I tell you that when I was your age, politics were never discussed in funerals. It has even gone worse that occasions such as weddings and other things, politics are discussed. But today, I wanted us to discuss why politics is discussed in both the church and the funerals. You'll agree with me that it is not good for politics to be discussed in churches. You'll also agree with me that politics should not be discussed in funerals. Churches are a place of prayers, and those who are attending the church service are people from different political persuasions. The same applies to funerals. And in funerals, it is even worse because you are preaching to bereaved. I want to assume that those who have attended the funeral were very close to the person who died, and they are still yet to come to terms with the death of that individual. Now coming and starting talking politics, and not just general politics, but partial politics, it's bad. What is the difference between two? General politics, I would say, is when you tell people that we are going to have polio vaccine, or recently we had corona, so you come and tell people that. It is politics, but it cuts across the political divide. But then what happens here is you find we talk politics, we even campaign through there, both in church and in funeral places. Provincial administration, which has been renamed as National Government Ngao Administration Organization, something like that, has also followed suit. I am a Luhya. Recently, I attended 2 funerals in Madera West. My mother's youngest sibling, Guyo, and before that, we had my cousin, Njuguna Wawashira. I did not see a politician talk politics. I did not see the assistant chief or even chief take that as a baraza. Let me start with the assistant chief and chiefs. When I was rising up through the ranks in the special branch, every assistant chief, every chief, and every DO used at the beginning of every month, he or she would write that the following month, this is my projected program. They would say what they'll do the whole month. Let's start with the chiefs and assistant. They are supposed to write to the DOs telling them what they are planning to do the following month. Let's say 2nd to 3rd, planting trees. For the first week, I'm going to have a meeting in this side of the location. The second week there, and I'm going to discuss this or that. Nowadays, they don't write, especially in some areas like Luhya land. You find a chief or an assistant chief, someone has lost a relative, especially those who are residing in urban areas. You find the type of discussion the chiefs do, wanahaibisha the family. You find that the chief says, now from today, watu ya Changaa yote mfanye nini. Why don't you wait until, or were you waiting for this person to die so that you hold your baraza? And those days when I was rising through the ranks in the intelligence, an assistant chief or a chief or even a DO, you used to write at the beginning of every month 2 reports. The first report, you write saying what you'll do the following month. The second report, you write what you have done in the last 1 month. There's a Luhya saying that the ground does not sleep hungry. It must eat every day, meaning every day somebody has to be buried. But supposing nobody dies, does it mean that chiefs and assistant chiefs will lack barazas to attend to people? As I said, my mother's youngest sibling and my cousin, when we went there, the assistant chief just introduced himself and introduced other people on that level. Mambo ya kusema sasa it is planting season, kila mtu aenda alime shamba yake, whatever, because we had visitors who were out, especially those who had come from urban area, who used to work with my cousins. I want to handle, and the purpose of this step is to tell people when this thing started. Why do politicians bring politics to funerals and churches? During Kanu days, it became, there was something that they had brought under Public Order Act. They said that for you to hold a meeting, and the meeting was supposed to be 3 or more persons assembled. So and it was so serious that the district commissioner's office used to issue permits. You are holding a birthday party in your house, you go to the DC's place for permit. You are holding a get together, you go to the DC's place for permit. And then it reached a place where it was said that so and so, sio Nyayo enough, his loyalty is not, anafukuzwa kwa KANU, the only political party, and any meeting that he seeks for permission, he is denied permission. So what did they do? They used now to go to church, because in a church, one thing is, a church, you are not supposed to seek for permission. The preacher just says, I'm having my members, and churches have no uniform. Yes, we have some churches like Salvation Army, African Divine Church, and others where you find people dressing in clothing that identify. But even in that circumstance, not everybody puts on. So you could have your 200 people and other people come. So to circumvent this idea, the politicians started going to churches, and wakati wanasema kiongozi yote yule akapa asalimia watu, in that opportunity of kusalimia watu in the church, that is when he would start that politics. And especially those not in the mainstream churches, these small churches, the one-man guitar churches, they started gaining money from that, such that the more you give the church, the more the church allows you to talk whatever you want to say and for whatever long period it is. And apart from cases where, let's say, somebody is armed with a gun or somebody is, but whatever you talk, even if you talk things which were against Public Order Act, the government could not come and so long as also people did not fight there. Because if there was to be any sign of violence, then the police would come in the pretext that they are coming to quell the riot. So that is how it started there. And also these people moved further and started attending funerals. There's a joke, I don't know whether it really happened, that somebody went and attended a funeral of a lady who was a church leader, and she was known to be a teetotaler. But a politician came anaanza kuongea, oh, huyu sijui marehemu tulikuwa tunaenda tunakunywa na yeye sijui nini, and then even reaches a place and say huyu marehemu, and then bends down and tells him, hebu niambie jina ya marehemu. In the intelligence, we were trained that when you find fault, you should also suggest a solution. It is unfortunate that we have gone so much deep into the deep end that I'm unable to suggest a solution. But if a way could be found where politicians are not allowed to talk partisan politics in church or even campaign within church places, and also funerals. I have had places, and funny enough, some of these people are even senior politicians. You find that the family stands firm and says, I'm sorry, you're not going to bring your political party campaigns or slogan in this funeral. And if you try, we will stop you. I think that is the only solution we can do, such that in future, it is upon those who are bereaved to tell whoever is coming that please don't talk politics. Because you find somebody who is very deep in politics. Even he himself had been politicking in funerals, but when he dies or she dies, the family says, no politics here. And politicians are very good people because they observe that. That one should also be replicated in churches. But I find problem in churches because pastors, especially for these one-man guitar churches, would want to use that opportunity to make money. My viewers, I have told you the problem. I have told you where it started. And like any sickness, just like any other sickness, identifying a sickness is one way of treating it. Let us put our heads together and try to find a way how we can stop this politicking in churches and funerals. And also, chiefs and assistant chiefs should be stopped from making funerals barazas. If they want barazas, they call their own barazas on the appropriate time. Thank you.